Hi and welcome everyone to another video. My name is Denis and today I'm going to show you my team selection for Game Week 9 of Fantasy Premier League. But now let's just get into it. Okay guys, so we're going to start this video by showing you how my whole team is looking like at the moment for Game Week 9. Now this is without me making any transfers, and in the last part we're going to try to make a little bit of a thinkering to see how my team is going to look like for the future and how my plans are. Now last game week, in Game Week 8, I got a green arrow, so again I'm in the top 1 mil at the moment, so it is not that bad, but obviously I really want to improve. So I have 0 millions in the bank and 3 free transfers, and this is currently how my team is looking like without making any transfers, and we're going to discuss a little bit. Let's start with the defense because today we got some news. So as you can see, I have just 3 fit defender, let's say, for Game Week 9, which is okay because these were the defenders I planned to play in Game Week 9 anyway, but it is not a great situation. So Alderete, because of the protocols, he's going to miss Game Week 9, but he's going to be probably decent. He's going to be okay to play for the next few game weeks, so he's not a problem. I'm not planning to sell him. He's a 4 million defender anyway. But with Anderson, we had the press conference for Fulham today, and the latest news is that he's going definitely to miss Game Week 9, and he has a small hamstring injury, a muscle injury. So again, at the moment, we don't know exactly the length of the injury. Maybe we're going to get more information by the deadline, but yeah, it's not looking great. I wasn't planning to play Anderson, but definitely it's not the best situation for me to be with just 3 fit defenders. Now, talking about them, really happy with Raya, with Gabriel, with my Arsenal double up. I think that I said it a lot of the times, Arsenal are the best defense in the Premier League, so yeah, really happy to go with 2 defenders going forward. I'm going to play Raya. I know that Dubravka maybe has the slightly better fixture against Wolverhampton, and we just saw Burnley keeping clinched against Leeds, but to be honest with you, I think that they were a little bit lucky there. So again, when I have Raya, probably I'm just going to play him. Maybe if Raya was playing against Manchester City away and Dubravka would be playing against Leeds, maybe I would try to change my mind, but even that, Arsenal are the best defense in the Premier League and probably Burnley are the worst, so an easy decision for me there. Crystal Palace, definitely not an easy fixture for Arsenal, but again, I'm expecting Arsenal to have a chance of keeping a clean sheet against anyone, so yeah, I'm just going to play them. Senesi, really happy with him. Bournemouth were decent. The fixture is okay against Nottingham Forest. Now they're going to have a new manager, so we need to see how they're going to line up, but again, really happy with Senesi, really good for defensive contributions. Now Van de Ven is the defender I'm the least happy about owning at the moment, because obviously the fixtures after this game week are going to be really rough for Spurs, so the plan would be to try to get rid of my Spurs players as soon as possible. But for Game Week 9, if I'm going to be forced to have him, it is not a problem to play Van de Ven against Everton. He's not good for defensive contributions, but he has a little bit of an attacking threat. I'm not necessarily expecting Spurs to keep a clean sheet against Everton, but if I have to play him, so be it. So again, I'm not expecting to make a defender transfer this game because when we're going to talk about the players I really want for the future, one of them is Munoz, one of them is Richard. So again, they are also, Crystal Palace are playing against Arsenal, so no defensive transfer is going to really improve my team for Game Week 9. And also I think that I want to make other moves elsewhere if I'm going to move to make any moves at all, because let's be honest here, again, I don't want to be boring. I still want to play this game for fun, obviously, but there is a slightly chance I'm just going to roll the transfer, because just try to take out of consideration I don't know, the fact that João Pedro, the fact that Gyökeres were not great in the last game weeks, and then just close your eyes a little bit and look at this team. I just think that it doesn't really look that bad on paper, so honestly I could just roll the transfer, have 4 free transfers next game week, and that's because a lot of players I want to have for the future, for example Munoz, Richards, Mateta, Ismail Assar, these players are playing against Arsenal, so I don't really want to make a Crystal Palace transfer, let's say, for Game Week 9. But let's talk a little bit about the midfield. There is still a chance and there are still players I want to have for Game Week 9, so yeah, maybe I'm going to make some transfers. I'm really happy with my midfielders overall. Semenyo, again, a lot of my players from the starting 11 are playing at home, so the only players who are playing away from home are Van de Ven, Kudus, and Erling Haaland, who is the best player in FPL at the moment. So yeah, the team looks decent. All these players are playing at home, which is a little bit of an advantage, right? So again, with Semenyo, really happy with him. I would not rule selling Semenyo at some point, but definitely probably right now is not the moment. He's on penalty, he's playing good minutes. Nottingham Forest at home is a nice fixture, so really happy with him. Njae from Everton, really impressed with his performance against Manchester City. So yeah, I'm really happy to have Njae for the next few fixtures. The fixtures are also decent for Everton, so yeah, really happy with him on penalties, good for defensive contributions also. Bruno Fernandes was the player I wanted to sell last game week to Enzo Fernandez if he was available, obviously. Now obviously I don't want to knee jerk, and now in hindsight obviously to turn my decision, I don't think that Bruno Fernandes is worth the price of 9 millions or 8.9 millions, whichever price he has right now, but I think that he's a decent one. The fixture is not that bad against Brighton at home. I just don't feel like I'm in a rush to sell him, if you know what I mean. So again, he's on penalties, probably still, right? He's still getting good statistics. If you look at the stats, Bruno Fernandes is averaging more expected goals per 90 minutes than someone like Bukayo Saka. So again, I'm not saying that Bruno Fernandes is a better pick than Bukayo Saka, definitely not. I would rather have Bukayo Saka if they were at the same price, obviously, but at the same time, I'm just not in a rush to sell him. I still think that he could create some chances, and obviously when he's getting a goal, assist, even if he's not going to get any attacking returns, Bruno Fernandes has that possibility to get bonus points. So that's a thing I really like about him. So yeah, I need to be honest here. Kudus, again, it is a player I'm looking to sell, because if you look at the fixtures for Spurs in the next 4 or 5 fixtures, something like, they're going to play against Man United, they're going to play against Chelsea, they're going to play against Arsenal. So the run of fixtures for Spurs, good fixtures pretty much ended. And definitely, again, against Everton away, it's not, I could just keep him. Again, I could roll the transfer. I don't think that's such a bad fixture, but definitely it's not something like Burnley or something that Spurs also are not creating a lot of chances. Let's say Kudus is not scoring loads of goals, but he's definitely a decent option for this game week. But again, if I was to sell right now a midfielder from my team, probably would be Reinders or Kudus. Now, if you talk a little bit about Reinders from Manchester City, again, I'm not happy with him. I'm not happy that he was subbed off before 60 minutes. But to be honest with you, the one good thing I have with my team, a lot of people are selling Reinders because Reinders is in their starting 11. Now I could just bench Reinders against Aston Villa away, and he's just a bench option for me pretty much at the moment. I have 4-7 better attackers than him, so he's my 8th attacker. I don't need to play him every game week. Now again, the fixtures for Man City from game week 12 are going to be better. I'm not saying that I'm going to keep Reinders all along. I think that there is a possibility for his minutes to not be that good going forward, but at the moment, at the same time, I don't feel the rush to sell him because I have a lot of good midfielders and strikers at the moment, so I could just bench Reinders. But yeah, if I want to sell one of my midfielders, it would be Reinders and Kudus. Now, if you talk about midfielders, let's talk about the players I want to get for Game Week 9, right? Because from a again, a lot of these players have good fixtures from Game Week 10 onwards. But on my radar are players like Ismail Assar, Enzo Fernandez, obviously, someone like Minte, Daniel Munoz, Mateta, but this is for Game Week 10. I could go for someone like Voldemort in Game Week 9, but again, I much rather prefer to go for someone like Mateta from Game Week 10. Again, I'm not forced to do that move even in Game Week 10, and obviously maybe I sound a little bit boring. I'm not against making transfers. If those transfers are suddenly going to improve my team really good, then I'm going to do them. I don't really care about rolling the transfers, but the thing is also I want to be flexible. Now, if you look at my forward line, I have João Pedro, Haaland and Gyökeres. And if you take out of the consideration the fact that Gyökeres and João Pedro were really bad in the last few game weeks, they are decent picks with really good fixtures. So again, as I said so many times, I would much rather have Bukayo Saka for Gyökeres, but I just don't think that it is a rush, and I'm just not sure if it's worth to make two transfers to just swap Gyökeres to Bukayo Saka. Obviously, the fixture is going to be the same. I still don't think that Crystal Palace is an easy fixture or something like that for Arsenal. I don't see a lot of goals from Arsenal here, and I would expect Gyökeres to be able at least to match Bukayo Saka for the next three gamings or something like that, and maybe that would be the plan for me, and see what I'm going to do with Gyökeres after that. Now again, in the Champions League, Gyökeres scored 2 goals. Saka played 90 minutes, he blanked. Again, Saka pretty much scored just one penalty in the last three gamings, and he blanked other than that. So again, it is not like Saka is scoring 5 goals a game and Gyökeres is blanking. I just don't think that it's such a big difference. And for an example, what I can do, obviously, I could just sell Bruno Fernandes to Bukayo Saka and sell Gyökeres for Mateta, but I just don't think that's going to improve my team this week, to be honest with you, in Game Week 9. Now, what I'm going to do in Game Week 10, then we need to see the information, obviously, what we're going to get from Game Week 9 and other stuff. Maybe I want to delay my decision, because the actual truth is that I'm not really sure what I want to do with Bruno Fernandes, what I want to do with Gyökeres. What I want to do, obviously, is to try to give Gyökeres at least this gaming, and then to see if I'm going to be forced. Now, again, I'm not going to be anywhere forced to do that move. Again, with Joao Pedro, definitely I'm not going to sell him. I saw a lot of people selling him against Sunderland in Game Week 9. There's no way I'm going to sell Joao Pedro. I'm going to give him this gaming. If he's still going to look that bad, then yeah, I could just do Joao Pedro to Mateta in Game Week 10. And I think that's a nice fixture. But again, if someone like Joao Pedro is going to get good returns in Game Week 9, the fixtures are really good for Chelsea in the next 4, 5, 6 games. So I could even keep Joao Pedro. So again, it all depends how these players are going to perform. There are a lot of possibility for me. I said the players who are on my radar at the moment. Obviously, I didn't talk about Liverpool players. I don't have any, and at some point I think that, again, we saw in the Champions League they scored 5 goals against Frankfurt, and I know that they are Frankfurt, but still, Liverpool are going to be back at some point. And if you look at their fixtures, they are going to be really good options at some point. But I really want to wait to see the press conference from Arne Slot. Let's see how many games Alexander Isak is going to miss, because then someone like Ekitike could enter the conversation. Someone like Gakpo, these players, I'm looking at them because their minutes could be better without someone like Isak, when Salah obviously is going to go to African Cup of Nations, but there's a long time to go till that. So again, please let me know in the comments down below, what would you do with my team. Also, what I didn't say at the moment, I'm leaning towards just selling Kudus to Enzo Fernandez, but as I said before, Kudus against Everton is not such a bad fixture, but definitely I really want to have Enzo Fernandez instead of him for the next 4 to 5 fixtures, and that's because again, Palmer is still out. Enzo Fernandez is looking like he's on penalties. Joao Pedro also could be on penalties. We saw Enzo Fernandez giving the penalty to Estevao in the Champions League. So again, all these things are making me not in a rush to make a lot of transfers, because I could just sell Kudus to Enzo. I could sell Gyökeres to someone like Guyu, to someone like Krupi Jr., and just upgrade Ryan Dish to Bukayo Saka. But again, I don't want to use all my transfers when I'm not sure if that's worth it, if you know what I mean. But let's see how my team is looking like. Let's see what can I do. Okay guys, so as I said before, I'm not in a rush to make a lot of transfers for Game Week 9 in particular. I have 3 free transfers at the moment. I have 0 millions in the bank, as you can see, and this is how my team is lining up currently for Game Week 9. Now again, I want to wait to see all the press conferences before making my transfers. Not a lot of players are going to rise in price. The players which I'm interested in buying this Game Week, and in Game Week 10 in particular. So I'm going to wait till tomorrow to do my transfers. And by the way, it is a Friday deadline, so don't forget to lock in your teams. Now again, we talked about Spurs. I just want to show you here. So in Game Week 9, it is the last decent fixture for Spurs from my point of view. Then they're going to play against Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal, Fulham, Newcastle. So again, it is not a problem to keep someone like Kudus if you have other important things to sort in your team. I definitely don't think that he's a bad pick or something like that. But from my point of view, from my team, I want to keep Semenyo. I want to keep Andre because the fixtures are decent. Spurs, Sunderland, Fulham, Man United, and then Newcastle, Bournemouth is not amazing, but overall I just think that Andre is a better pick than Kudus. Bruno Fernandes, again, Brighton, Forest, Spurs, Everton, Palace away, it's not easy. West Ham, Wolverhampton in Game Week 14, Game Week 15. So the fixtures are just not a problem for Manchester United. We saw they just beat Liverpool. So they just beat Liverpool. So what are we talking about? We know that they can create chances, and Bruno Fernandes, what you know with him is that he's going to play every game week close to 90 minutes at least. So yeah, again, not nice to have two injured defenders in my team. Again, what can I do with this team is to sell someone like Gyökeres to someone like Guyu. But again, guys, I'm just going to say you what I'm not really interested in someone like Guyu or Krupi Juniors. And showing you here, let's put Guyu. I could just upgrade then Bukayo Saka, Reinders to Saka. And then if we make the transfers, again, with Guyu and Krupi, I think that they are just short-term options. Again, it's looking like Guyu is going to start probably against Sunderland, but you just don't know if he's going to make it till 60 minutes. They have other options. They have also another striker who can play. João Pedro could play there. Delap is going to make a recovery soon. So again, I think that Guyu, he's a good option, but it really depends how much you need him to in the future. And the same with Krupi Juniors. If Evan Nilsson is going to be out for 2 months or something like that, probably I'm just going to go and buy Krupi Juniors, but I just don't think that's going to be the case. And I don't think that he's going to start over Evan Nilsson when he's going to be back. So this is the problem. If I'm going to sell Gyökeres to Guyu, I could play him, I guess, instead of Kudus, but then I'm going to bench Kudus, and that doesn't really feel great. And I'm going to play Bukayo Saka here. So again, in the long run, I just don't think that I'm going to need Guyu that much, and that's not going to help me that much. So I'm selling Gyökeres and Reinders to Saka and Guyu, which sounds better, let's say. Obviously sounds better as a move, but it doesn't really improve my team that much this gaming, I think. For an example, if we refresh this page and just do Kudus to Enzo Fernandez, I have the exact money to do that move. So probably this is a move I'm going to do because I really like Enzo Fernandez. I want to take my chances with those fixtures, with the fact that Palmer is out. So again, I know that probably he's going to play a more deeper role with Guyu playing, with João Pedro playing as a 10. So he's not going to play as a number 10 probably, but still Enzo Fernandez is getting a lot of XG. He's getting a lot of good chances even when he's playing as a number 8, because Caicedo is doing all that work defensively, so it's not such a big of a problem. So yeah, if I do this move, I just feel like this team is looking okay. Now what I can do also, as I said before, I could just sell Gyökeres to Mateta and sell Bruno Fernandes to Saka, but is that going to improve my team again that much? I'm not so sure. I like Mateta, but I'm not in a rush to buy him when he's going to play against Arsenal away. I think that Crystal Palace have a chance, obviously, to score against Arsenal. They are the best attacking side in the Premier League at the moment in the first 8 game weeks, but Arsenal away is the toughest fixture, and I don't really want to play him in that game week. So that leaves me with not wanting to do this transfer. If let's say I'm going to roll, if we move to game week 10, hopefully if Anderson is going to be fit, then I could play Gabriel Alderete and Anderson against Wolverhampton at home. That's a really nice fixture. Raya, Gabriel, Gyökeres against Burnley is going to be such a big problem to play Gyökeres against Burnley instead of playing Saka against Burnley. Maybe, who knows? But again, it really depends how you see this. Obviously, I would prefer to have Saka, but if from game week 10, I'm going to want to add some Crystal Palace players. And obviously, if let's say I roll the transfer, I'm going to have 4 free transfers in game week 10. Then if someone like João Pedro is not going to deliver. Maybe I'm going to get tired of him, so I'm just going to sell him. I could sell here, let's say I would really want to go for Munoz. Now, by the way, I could just go for Richards if I don't want to spend all that money on Munoz, but I think that it's totally worth it. And the only way to pretty much upgrade my team is to either sell and take that money out of Bruno Fernandes, which I'm not so sure I want at the moment. Let's see how he's going to play in Game Week 9, because probably I'm just going to keep him for Game Week 9. Other than that, I don't really want to sell Nje. I don't really want to sell Semenyo. I could also sell Kudus to, I don't know, a cheaper defender, a cheaper midfielder, let's say like Granit Xhaka. This is another possibility. I will still have 0.6 million in the bank, so I bought here Mateta, Xhaka, Munoz. Let's make the transfers. So I'm going to have still one free transfer. Now, obviously, this is without having Kudus into my team. Anderson could be on my bench if he's not going to be fit. I'm just going to play Munoz every game week. The run of fixtures from Crystal Palace from Game Week 10 is amazing. Brentford, Brighton, Wolverhampton, Man United is fine, Burnley, Fulham. So again, he is amazing. Munoz is one of those defenders I really want to have into my team. And what is missing from this team? Obviously, Bournemouth are playing against Man City, so someone like Sarr could be on the cards, but again, I'm not sure if I want to triple up on Crystal Palace, although they are looking really great at the moment, and I don't really have that possibility. I'm not going to sell Nje. It would really need to be Bruno Fernandes or Gyökeres, so this would be the only chance. But if I'm going to sell Gyökeres, I will need to have another attacker from Arsenal, so it would need to be for Bukayo Saka, and I'm going to have 8.5 millions to sell Gyökeres, but again, this is going to be too many transfers. Now, by the way, if I'm going to go with my strategy to sell Enzo Fernandez this game week, I'm going to roll my other 2 free transfers, so I'm going to have 3 free transfers in Game Week 10. And sorry, by the way, probably now I'm just rambling about a lot of my team, but the thing is, I'm just not 100% sure what I'm going to do. So if you really want to see what my moves are going to be on my stream tomorrow on Friday on my deadline stream. So yeah, I'm going to have 3 free transfers, and at this point, I will really want to have someone like Mateta, someone like Munoz, someone like Richards. It really depends if my defenders are going to be fit, because I could just play Gabriel Alderete Anderson, ignore Munoz and Richards for the moment. If I want to go for I don't know, someone like Mateta, I could just I can't really sell João Pedro without making any more downgrades, because I don't really have the money to do that. So yeah, it is a big ask for me. Obviously, I could just sell João Pedro to Mateta and sell Reinders to a cheaper midfielder, and that would be okay. But I really need to figure it out what I'm going to do. I want to have one more gimmick of information to see. Again, I want to leave also that door open to have someone like Mohamed Salah. Now, at the moment, obviously, everybody is going to think that I'm crazy. Who would want to have Mohamed Salah at the moment in their teams? But again, at some point, Liverpool are going to click again, and players like Isak, Ekitike, Gakpo, Mohamed Salah are going to get back into the mix. So, yeah, probably a lot of rambling. The real truth is that I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. At the moment, I'm leaning towards just selling Kudus to Enzo and then rolling the transfers. I could sell Reinders to Bukayo Saka, Gyökeres to Guyu, and be done with it, be peaceful in mind and have Bukayo Saka. But again, I will need to figure it out tomorrow after the press conferences. So thanks a lot for being here, watching this video this long. It really means a lot and I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please consider leaving a like, hit that subscribe button if you're new around here, and I'm going to see you tomorrow on my deadline stream. So see you soon. Bye. Apoi în bag gura lor